Welcome to Pour the Wine, It's Rom-Com Time, where we'll sip some wine and review all things rom-com on the Hallmark Channel. I'm Amy.
And I'm Gary.
And I think you should pour it.
I think you're right.
What are you pouring?
I'm pouring a Cab Sav.
A Cab Sav, going right in the
That's
glasses.
right.
Taking a break from our summer Chardonnay, which we've been into for a minute.
Well, it's been so hot, you know.
Yeah.
You like that cold,
refreshing,
crisp
white
Chardonnay.
wine. We would love it if you would click that follow button on your favorite podcast platform so you don't miss an episode. If you listen on Apple or Spotify, you can also leave us a review, and hopefully it's a positive review.
Yes.
And we would really appreciate it if you take the time to do that.
Yes.
That would be really cool.
Yep. And you can also find us on social media: Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, X, and Threads.
All the things. Drop us a line at pourthewine@hallmarktime@gmail.com and let us know your thoughts about all things Hallmark.
Yes.
We're doing Christmas in July right now. We're
Yep.
getting ready to start Unwrapping Christmas. We're into holidays.
All of them.
All of them. All of them.
Busy, busy, busy.
Busy, busy. Or you can let us know about anything.
Yes.
Really.
So,
you ready to jump in?
yeah, let's do it. So today we're reviewing the first of the Unwrapping Christmas movies, Tina's Miracle, that first aired on Hallmark Plus on Thursday, November 7th, 2024, and then on Saturday, July 5th, 2025 on the Hallmark Channel.
On the Hallmark Channel.
So you want to tell us who's in this one?
Who is in this one?
And while you do that, I'm going to take a sip of wine.
Take a sip of your wine.
Yes.
Sit back and relax.
That's right.
Take a sip. Natalie Hall plays Tina Mitchell. Her very first Hallmark production was in 2012 with Love's Christmas Journey. More recently, she's been in all four of the Unwrapping Christmas movies that dropped in 2024. Road Trip Romance, Fly Away With Me, and Noel Next Door in 2022, and You're Baking Me Crazy in 2020. That one comes up a little bit.
Yeah, it does.
She was also, some of her other work includes 11 episodes of Charmed between 2018 and 2019, Pretty Little Liars, 5 episodes between 2011 and 2012, and she played Colby Chandler for 179 episodes on my favorite soap opera of all time, All My Children, between 2009 and 2011. There you go. Oh, I guess we should have started by saying that this is the Unwrapping Christmas movies is a series of 4 movies.
Yes.
And it's based on 4 friends who own the store.
Yes.
All wrapped up.
All wrapped up.
Correct?
Yes.
Yep. So they were college friends. Excuse me. And they decided to open up a store. So Natalie Hall plays one of those friends, Tina Mitchell. And the first movie is focused on her.
Yes, it is.
So I will go through the other 3 friends, and each movie will be focused on each one individually as we go along through the series.
Yep.
So Cindy Busby plays Olivia Matheson. I believe her first Hallmark production was Lucky in Love in 2014, as far as I could see.
Mm-hmm.
She has been in numerous Hallmark productions since, and some of her more recent work includes all 4 of these Unwrapping movies, A Whitewater Christmas in 2024, Love in Zion National, A National Park Romance in 2023, and Warming Up to You in 2021. Some of her other work includes 53 episodes of Heartland between 2007 and 2024. Heartland is available on Hallmark. It's not a Hallmark production, but it is available, I believe, on Hallmark Plus.
Oh, okay.
So, to watch.
There you have it.
She was also in 1 episode of V.C. Andrews' Heaven in 2019 and 2 episodes of the TV series Supernatural between 2011 and 2013. Ashley Newborough plays Lily Morgan, another one of the friends. Her first Hallmark movie was Love Under the Stars in 2015. She was most recently in the 4 episodes of The Love Club and all 4 Hearts Around the Table movies, which premiered in 2025. She was busy in 2024.
Yeah.
So in addition to all 4 Unwrapping Christmas movies, she was also in Operation Nutcracker and Love on the Right Course. In 2023, she was in Flipping for Christmas and Love in Glacier National, a national park romance. Some of her other work includes the TV series Privileged. She was in 18 episodes between 2008 and 2009. And the TV series Mistresses. She was in 5 episodes between 2013 and 2014.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Catherine Davis is the fourth and final friend of the four. She plays Mia Parker, and her movie is next, correct?
Yes.
Unwrapping Christmas, Mia's Prince.
Yes, Mia's Prince.
She premiered on the Hallmark Channel in A Christmas Carousel in 2020. And like Ashley Newbrough, she is also in all four of the Hearts Around the Table movies that premiered in 2025. In 2024, in addition to the Unwrapping Christmas movies, she was also in Everything Puppies.
Everything Puppies.
We didn't watch that, but we'll have to watch that. Some of her other work outside of Hallmark includes several holiday movies for other production companies, like Santa's Got Style, Planes, Trains, and Christmas Trees, and 6 Degrees of Santa. Those all dropped in 2022.
Okay.
She was in 3 episodes of The Wedding Planners in 2020, 1 episode of Taken in 2018, and 1 episode of Rain in 2017.
Man, goodness.
Whew. Alex Santos plays Michael Alonzo. According to K.L. Connie Wang's article in Parade, he speaks 3 languages and has a degree in biochemistry.
Wow.
Smart tart, that one.
Mm-hmm.
His first Hallmark production was in Rise and Shine, Benedict Stone in 2021. Some of his other Hallmark work includes A Machu Picchu Proposal, which just aired as part of Passport to Love in June of 2025. He is in all 4 of the Unwrapping Christmas movies that dropped last year in 2024 and Campfire Christmas in 2022. Some of his other work includes 2 episodes of Virgin River between 2020 and 2024, which I can assume means 1 in 2020 and 1 in 2024.
Right.
The TV series Sight Unseen, he was in 8 episodes from 2024 to 2025 and 1 episode of Arrow in 2017.
Oh, cool.
Presley Allard, I think, plays Haley Alonzo. She has 5 acting credits, and this is her first Hallmark production. Her 4 other credits are Would You Kill For Me, The Mary Bailey Story in 2023, Sorry About the Demon, and 1 episode of Good Sam in 2022, and The Unperfect Christmas The Unperfect Christmas Wish in 2021.
That's funny.
Henry Alessandroni plays Thomas Mitchell. He plays Tina's dad.
Right.
This is his Hallmark premiere. Some of his other work includes My Mother Stole My Life in 2024, Trapped with My Husband in 2022, and Twice in a Lifetime. He was in 1 episode in 1999.
Oh, okay.
Okay. He said, okay. We haven't watched any of those, right?
Nope.
Stephanie Herrera plays Robin. Her first appearance in a Hallmark production was in 2020's Unlocking Christmas. She was also in Romance with a Twist in 2024 and Holiday Heritage in 2022. Some of her other work includes 1 episode of Reacher in 2025. Is that on Prime? I can't remember what Amazon.
I couldn't tell you.
Is that on Prime or Paramount? Maybe I'm totally wrong.
Who knows?
I don't know. I think it's on, maybe it's Hulu. I don't know.
Yeah. She
was in 1 episode of The Boys in 2025. She was in Trapped with My Husband in 2022, along with Henry Alessandroni, which I just mentioned, and a movie called Christmas Unwrapped in 2020, which I thought was kind of funny because this is Unwrapping Christmas.
Yeah.
Anywho, David Rosser plays Judge Reynolds. He appeared on Hallmark for the first time in Never Too Late to Celebrate in 2023. In 2024, he is also in the next Unwrapping Christmas, Mia's Prince. He was also in My Dreams of You and Paging Mr. Darcy, all in 2024. Some of his other work includes 1 episode of Cruel Intentions in 2024, 1 episode of American Gothic in 2016, and 1 episode of Rain in 2015. And Rain keeps coming up. A lot of people
lately
popped up on there also.
Well, that's good.
There you go.
All right. Well, is it time to drop the synopsis?
Maybe. Do you want to drop it? It's time to drop the synopsis. Let's do it. Let's go. I'm going to take some wine while you do that.
Yeah, do that since I've already had some. Successful gift wrapping shop owner Tina is in charge of planning this year's annual gala. But things begin to go awry when the gala faces cancellation due to a Scrooge-like estate owner. Bum, bum, bum.
Bum, bum, bum.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
If you have not seen this, please pause this podcast, go watch it,
so
come back, and press play.
And press play, right. We will probably give away some spoilers.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will. So, what was your first take on
My
this?
first take on this. I really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I was really, what I was expecting.
Right.
Because I don't typically look up the synopsis or anything before, all the work's done after we watch it.
Right.
In terms of who's in it and everything. And I really enjoyed it. I thought it was, I liked the small town they were in.
Mm-hmm.
I actually really liked Natalie Hall's portrayal of Tina. I thought she was great. Everything was smooth.
Right.
I really liked the chemistry. I really like Alex Santos. I think he's
really good.
If you get him in a good vehicle, he's good.
Yes, he
so
is.
I really enjoyed, the father-daughter aspect in this movie with him and his young daughter, and he's, a widowed,
right.
know. And I don't know. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
What about you?
Like you, I really enjoyed it too, because I went in expecting, a classic, lighthearted Hallmark movie, but then, it got into some deep subjects.
Well, I mean, it was serious, but it wasn't like that serious.
But, they touched on, dyslexia.
Yes.
Corporate takeovers.
Yeah.
Bad relationships. Don't judge a book by its cover.
Well, that's
We're
true.
always talking about
That's
that,
true.
right?
Yes, they did cover that. That's for sure. And it was a little bit like you said, corporate takeover, like Pretty Woman.
Yes.
Kind of some remnants of that.
Yeah. But,
and like You've Got Mail.
You've Got Mail. I know.
The
right?
big company comes in. But anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
But yeah, I really enjoy it. And I thought, like you, Alec is just, he's killing it in the last two that
really
we've
enjoyed
watched.
him.
I've really enjoyed his acting.
Mm-hmm.
He makes it look effortlessly. So
he does. He really does.
So I was very impressed. And I thought the supporting cast in this particular movie did a really, really good job. And I think it's a great way to start this Christmas
the series.
in July.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was the first Christmas in July movie.
Mm-hmm. So there you have it.
Yes. Well, new to Hallmark Channel. I guess it's not a brand new movie, but new to Hallmark Channel, Saturday night movie for Christmas in July. Yeah, I agree. It was a good start.
Yes, it was. So, you want to talk about the meet cute?
Let's talk meet cute. So Michael, right? They're in a store,
a department store
in the small town, and Tina. Well, his daughter runs into Tina, right, and explains that she's trying to get a gift for her dad. So Tina is trying to, allegedly, she accidentally runs into him, but we find out later that may not be true.
Right.
But anywho, so, and the daughter, Haley, takes a picture of her. She's looking for a tie, and Tina's helping her pick out a tie, and she kind of walks away, and that's when Michael walks up to her.
Right.
And he's like, nice tie.
Nice tie,
right? And what is she? She's like, you think?
Yeah. She's. You can tell when they met eye to eye that something clicked there.
Little spark. Yeah. And then she says something. He says, yeah, colorful, bold. Says I'm in charge with a touch of congeniality. And she says, what more could you want in a tie?
I know, right?
I thought it was kind of cute.
Yes, that was a good exchange. So I thought the meet cute was kind of.
Well, yeah. And then his daughter, Haley, shows him some pictures that she's just taken of Tina. And he's like, wow, that's a glamour shot. So he's already kind of flirting right away. Yeah. So I thought the scene really kind of worked. It was a good meet cute.
That's what I thought.
think. What do you think?
I thought it was too. I thought it was really cute. I mean, it was kind of like a little friendly little banter, little bit of flirtatious banter back and forth. Yeah, so it worked. Instead of like her instantly hating him or saying something or falling in love right away. I do have a question though, because I find it interesting that kids always call adults by their first name, like Miss Tina. I wonder why they instead of.
I think that's a Southern thing, actually.
Instead of doing.
Well, I guess they're not.
Miss Mitchell, it's like Miss Tina, Miss Tina.
I don't know. When I was growing up, I always called my friends' parents by their last name. It was Mr. and Mrs. Mm-hmm. And to this day, I would die if I called them by their first name. It's not like I ever got into trouble, but it's just what we did. It was, Mr. So-and-so or Mrs. So-and-so. And then when I moved to Virginia, the neighbors around, like when my kids first started meeting the neighbors, they would say, oh, I miss Miss Shelley and Miss Tina,
Right.
and, this is Mr. Rick, and I thought that was so weird. And because I had always taught them, and I thought,
Right.
well, all right, that's fine if that's what so maybe it's more of a Southern thing. I don't really know.
Yeah. Well,
As long
I
as
just
people
thought-
are okay with it, and
well, they seem to be okay with it in the
Yeah,
movie. I just
yeah,
thought
no.
it was interesting that, they were saying that. And we grew up in a time where it was the last name that you said.
yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
I just thought it was
Maybe it's not as, like you said, maybe it's just more of a sign of the times. But I know it was like that when the kids were little,
Right.
in where we lived in Virginia. So, yeah, I don't know. Good question.
I got some of those every once in a while, just hanging in there.
As long as everyone's on board and no one's, it's
Yeah.
fine. It doesn't really bother me. You can call me yo. Yo, you.
Yow.
I'm not a stickler for that kind of stuff.
No, me either. Just be respectful, right?
Yes.
That's all we ask.
Yes.
So, did you have any favorite scenes?
Yeah. I mean, I had a few. I guess first we should set up kind of what the premise of the story is, right? So,
Yeah.
So All Wrapped Up, the store,
Mm-hmm.
is sponsoring the gala, the Christmas gala that they have every year that they've had for like 80 years. And it's going to be at one of
the Alford House.
the Alford House, but it's a historic
historical
right?
house.
So, yeah. And people go to visit it. And,
Right.
and so Tina's dad is the caretaker
Right.
of the house. And he's trying to find out more about the history.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to have this big gala, and it's the first time the store is sponsoring and
it,
hosting, right?
Yeah.
And so, but then come to find out that whoever owned the Alford House just sold it,
Right.
and the new owner wants them out. They have there's previously been a wedding plan, so they're letting the wedding be held,
Right.
or the reception or whatever, at the Alford House. But then after that, no one else. They can't have any more parties. They're not allowed to have it.
Mhm.
So it sort of throws things into a turmoil for All Wrapped Up,
Right.
because they're trying to figure out what they're going to do because it's last minute.
Yeah.
And then in walks Michael Alonzo, whose family owned the Alford House,
Right.
and he's the one who sold it.
Right.
And in the meantime, has let some employees go right before Christmas of a different business that he
Correct.
bought, because that's
Yep.
what his company does. They buy things and they sell them. But you don't know the whole story. So Tina finds out that Michael is sort of behind the sale, right?
Yep.
And she's upset with him. And she finds out that what she perceives is that he's not a very nice boss.
Yeah. Right.
But he doesn't know that she knows, and he would really like to get to know her better. And so they're at this kind of impasse. Yeah. So that's kind of did I forget anything?
No. And the gala is something that's held every year for the town.
Right.
The townspeople
Yeah.
look forward to it, so.
Yeah.
And they have these contests for wrapping presents and things like that. But
Right. Best bow, best present,
best wrapping,
best free wrap. Yeah.
So that's where we're at with that.
That's where we're at. So that kind of sets up one of my favorite scenes is when she goes with Michael. He asks her to help him shop for someone.
Yes.
Correct. And so she meets him at the store, and she has just found out some information about him that she thinks is not flattering, but he doesn't know that she knows this information.
Mm-hmm.
So she's walking around and she's like, she says, I think he picks up the scarf, the cashmere one first.
Right.
And she's like, well, that's expensive though. And he's like, that's fine. And she's like, okay.
Yeah,
like he's flaunting his money, but he's not really. He's just kind of like, and then she kind of starts grilling him a little bit about what he does. And he says he has a family business. And then she kind of goes in.
Right.
Because doesn't he say we buy things? Oh, you buy things and then you sell them. Like she kind of goes after him and he's like, what's going on?
I know.
He's got this like quizzical look. And I just thought that scene, really work. Like she's definitely asking for a reason. He knows, but he doesn't know why.
Right.
He doesn't know what she thinks exactly. And then they find something else as a gift and a different type of scarf, I guess. And she goes, oh, this is perfect. And, and she kind of picks one out. And then he asks her if it will scare, the woman that he's buying for away. And she says like, no, only if you give her a mixtape with it.
Yes.
And then he says something like, that'll be Valentine's Day. And she's like, oh my God. Like, cause he's too good to be true. He's like a nice guy, but she doesn't want to believe it because she's heard these bad things about him. So I just thought that scene was really, really cute and worked given the story and the circumstance. So
that reading the book.
they did really well there in
cover,
her
right?
looks. Yeah. What about you? Favorite scene?
One of my favorite scenes was when Michael and Haley, Michael was picking up Haley from the school, and he was talking to the principal about Haley's condition, which you find out she has dyslexia.
Correct.
And the principal more or less was like, there's nothing else that we can do. And Michael, he starts to think about opening his own school. So on the way to the car, Haley says to him that she's sorry. And he says, "What are you sorry for?" And she says, "I'm sorry that something's wrong with me."
Yeah. Oh, you're tearing up. You're tearing up. I didn't know you didn't get emotional. We were watching.
Sorry about that.
I didn't know that. Okay.
No.
I need a minute.
It touched me because, she knows she has something wrong, but her dad was like, he explains to her and he tells her that, Albert Einstein, Whoopi Goldberg, Leonardo da Vinci, and Keira Knightley, which I thought was pretty interesting, all had dyslexia.
Yeah. Well,
So,
he says to her, the woman who's in one of our favorite movies or some Christmas movies. Yeah. You're going to tell you are right.
It just
He's tearing up.
touched me. I don't know.
Well, because you feel it, our kids went through some stuff, and you never want your kids to hurt or feel like they're not liked or loved, and if you're different, you feel like, kids can be mean.
Yeah.
And they can be really, really mean. And it's just, I think I have that a little bit later about that discussion with her. Cause he's like, you're smart, you're beautiful, and that's when he talks about.
And he said that's your superpower.
Yeah. He calls it her superpower. Yeah. She just has to learn a little.
And that's why she takes pictures is
mm-hmm.
because she can explain it better with the pictures. But that was one of them.
Right. With
Ooh, I'm sorry. I didn't think I'd get him.
Take a sip of wine. I know. Well, it's, when you have kids and they go through stuff, it's hard.
Yeah.
And then I think in that scene that you're talking about too, though, because the principal, because then Michael says he wants to open his own school.
Right.
Isn't that when he says, I think maybe I should just open up a school for kids with disabilities, And the principal's like, I don't know, that's a lot of work.
Yeah,
and Michael says, good thing we're in the season of miracles.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that was so cute. Yeah.
Ooh, sorry about that. Let me get my emotions
All
back
right.
in
Well,
check.
you get your emotions back in check. I'm going to go into another one of my favorite scenes is when Tina and Michael are making dinner.
Yes.
So they kind of go through this flirtatious thing, and Tina's kind of resisting it because she's had a bad relationship, right? But then she agrees to go to dinner, but she tries to make it clear it's just platonic. Let's let Haley know. I don't want her to think anything.
Right.
But then she goes, and he has burned the dinner. So then they kind of make dinner, and I just thought it was really cute,
cute.
And I don't know and there's a song during the scene, and I meant to look it up, and it was it reminded me of like an old time Christmassy song.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it just worked with the scene and them cooking and then sitting down for dinner. So I really like that scene. I thought that was really cute.
Yeah. Well,
So what about you? Any other favorite scenes that aren't going to make you cry?
I can't say it. When Tina asks Michael to meet her and her dad at the Alford House.
Oh, yes.
And I thought it was so funny because, again, she has this image of him.
Preconceived notion, right?
And when he gets
She's
there,
judging a little bit.
His dad even has that kind of attitude toward Michael. And it was funny because, Thomas being the historian that he is, Michael goes, "Oh, look at the crown molding." And he starts to talk about the woodwork in the house. And Thomas is like, he looks at him like, "Oh, okay.
Then he starts to like him instantly, right?
Instantly. And then you see Tina. She's like, like you said with the scarf scene, she's like, "Oh my God, really?"
Yeah. And then he said, "Yeah, I dabble in woodworking." And she goes, Of course you do. It's like he's too good to be true, So it was, that was really cute.
And the funnier part was when they were leaving and they were outside by the car, and Thomas, her dad, comes out and shakes his hand and goes, it's been a pleasure meeting you.
Yeah, it was cute.
So,
that was really cute.
So the image of him kind of just,
Well, and that's part of, I was going to put that, it wasn't just one scene, but it was those scenes where Michael, like, she can't believe he is the way he is. Like, there's a scene where he's wearing like a plaid shirt, and she goes, "Oh, what do you go chop your own wood?" And he's like, "Well, yeah, I kind of do. I go chop my own Christmas tree or whatever." And she's like, "Oh my gosh, that might be when they do the wrapping or whatever." But and so there were several scenes like that. The wood scene when they're shopping, where he just he's like the gift that keeps on giving, but she doesn't want to believe it, you know?
Because she has this.
Yeah. And he loves Love Actually.
Yeah.
You know, so.
So you have any more?
Okay. I thought the scene, it kind of was right after the dinner scene where Tina's talking to Haley about Haley's mom, because Haley's mom has passed away.
Right.
And Tina's mom passed away when she was young too. So they sort of have this meeting of the minds, and it's just a sweet moment, you know, and Tina says, "Oh, I lost my mom when I was young too. And it's really hard." And, and they're kind of looking at a picture of Haley's mom. And so it was just kind of a sweet moment. I don't know.
It was. I thought it was. So. And I'm glad you said it, because I probably would have teared up again.
You probably wouldn't have made it.
I don't know why I'm so emotional with this one.
Do you have any more favorite scenes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was so funny when they first went to the store. And of course, Haley comes in first, right? And Tina's like, "Oh, hey." And then her dad comes in, and he says something like, "Oh, this is serendipitous."
Oh, yes.
And then, but she still thinks that he's the mean corporate guy. And she tries to get Lily to, take him in whatever order. And Lily's like, no, I'm busy. This is your man, because she wants Tina to find somebody, and she walks away. So I thought that was cute. And then my last one was the scene when he had asked her to go rapping for the unprivileged people. Mm-hmm. And I just like it when they have the song and everybody's rapping and doing all these things.
Whole scene.
That whole scene. I loved it.
Well, she's like, that was another one where she goes, "You're wrapping gifts for underprivileged kids." Okay. Of course you are. Like, you're.
So
that was another one. Yeah. So, yes. Well, that scene with Lily, that you were just talking about, after he leaves the store, then Lily's like, "Wow, he's a hunk." And I'm like, who says hunk anymore? I thought that was so odd. I don't know. It made me chuckle a little bit, but I was like, do people really say hunk still? Yes. I don't know. I thought it was a little bit funny. Anyway. All right. So cheers. What was your biggest cheer, or do you have a few cheers that you want to discuss?
I thought my biggest one was, I really appreciate how the four ladies, the sorority ladies, they started this when they were in college.
Yeah, it was like an idea or something, right?
They had these bracelets with the number 426. Mm-hmm. And I liked how they had this project they had to do, and the teachers, I'm assuming it had to do with business, and the teachers helped them along, and they ended up creating, the store. And they've been doing that ever since.
Yep, and they opened it. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That was one of my cheers. What about you?
One of mine was, I always love, and I mean, Hallmark is so great at this, the small town walkthroughs where it's all decorated, and even the Hallmark snow, like you like to talk about the Hallmark weather, but I just like it. It's snowing, it's decorated to the nines, it's a small town, but there are all these little shops along the street. I always love that. Mm-hmm. Another cheer for me would be, I'm a sucker for like a historical aspect. Now, I'm not a big like history buff per se, about historical figures, but I just think it's cool when you're like investigating something from the past. Like, so it was a mystery, which we haven't even talked about really, trying to figure out, who owned the house originally, the Alford House, and, and all that. So I liked that part of it. Did you have any other cheers?
I had one more, and it was when she was telling Michael why she won't open up.
Oh, yes.
And he said something like, "You don't deserve what happened to you, but to cut yourself off from something good happening, life is just too short." And I thought that was very sweet.
Yeah.
To say something like that. So,
that was really cool. Yeah. For me, cheer, you talked about it, the dyslexia, like just that Hallmark is tackling issues that so many parents face with their kids. Mm-hmm. And it's not just the dyslexia, but like I mentioned earlier, you feel different. The kids feel different or out of place or they're bullied. And you talked about the compliments that Michael gives Haley.
Right.
You know, he says, you're smart, you're capable, you're beautiful, you're funny. And then he names people who had dyslexia. So I really liked, you know, that was a good aspect of it.
Yeah.
I loved Michael speaking the line from Love Actually that Colin Firth speaks, and he speaks it in Portuguese, was it?
Yeah.
Which must be one of Alex Santos's 3 languages. I just thought it was the way he delivered it was so smooth, you know, so I thought that was really cute. And then again, that was another scene where Tina was like, oh, you like Love Actually. You know, you're a man who likes romantic movies. I thought your favorite Christmas movie was going to be Die Hard.
Yeah,
you know?
Die Hard. Everybody always says Die Hard.
It's so funny. And then my final cheer would be the guitar rendition of Oh Holy Night when they're in the restaurant. I thought it was cool.
Oh, speaking of the restaurant, there's been times where you read the menu and you can't read what's on it because it's in some other language and you feel so bad. You're like, and then you just point to it when the waiter comes. You're like, I'll have this one. And she says something to that effect, like, I can't read anything on here.
I can't. Yep.
Oh, man. So did you have any jeers?
Well, okay. I had a few.
Okay. Well, let's hear them. Let's hear the jeers.
Did you have some?
I just had
a couple. So I wasn't
2,
super crazy about the beginning. I didn't, with the 4 women in the store, they're in all wrapped up and it was like they were trying to tell you a lot about what was going on.
Right.
I just wasn't crazy about that very beginning scene.
Okay. I can see that.
Like it didn't start off with a bang for me as far as that goes. And you know, first impressions matter. My other jeer would be Haley taking a Polaroid picture outside while it's snowing. If you know anything about Polaroids, that's not going to develop if water hits it.
That's right.
So I just thought that was I was like, that's a miss. Either people are really young who are shooting this and don't know any different, but yeah. And by the way, Tina says, oh, you have an old camera to Haley. Yeah, I love that you're using one of those old cameras. And I was like, oh, dagger.
Yes.
Because we know, I know Polaroids have come back around, but I mean, we're talking 70s and 80s. They were popular. So what about you?
It was an advancement in technology.
I'll let you.
It had to do with, Tina and Thomas and Michael were looking for the deed to the Alford House because they're trying to find a way not to sell it or have the party there. And they found out that it was they called her great aunt, but she was born back in the 1800s. Right. And then later on, I think they corrected it because he said great aunt.
Right. I think you're right because and that was something I said out loud in that moment when he said, oh, it's your great aunt. And I was like, wait a minute, that would be his mom's. I was trying to figure it out. And I'm like, there's no way. There's no way. There's no way the age didn't work. And then at the end, he says his great aunt. Yeah. Correct. Right. Yeah. That was a little.
And then the other one was when Robin came walking up to say that she's digging up dirt on Michael.
That's a jeer for you?
Yeah, because I just felt like, do people really do that? They go up and just say this kind of stuff while a stranger is standing right there? Because she didn't know who that guy was.
Right. So the scene is Robin comes up, and we didn't even talk about Robin really.
Right, and this is when they were coming out from wrapping presents.
So she goes up to Tina and Michael when they're leaving the church after wrapping presents.
Right.
And she goes into Tina about all this information she found out about Michael's company. And she basically is telling Tina, put it on social media. You can blast him on social media.
Yep. So
and he's like, okay, yeah, maybe not. I mean, I wouldn't do that. If I'd be like, oh, hey, nice to meet you, Tina. I have something to tell you in a little bit when I, like pull her aside. That's what I would, that's what probably most people would do. So but that kind of, they needed like that little discourse between Michael and Tina for a little bit.
The breakup moment.
It lasted for about a minute, but
yeah. So
the other jeer that I have is, and it has to do with music. We talk about this a lot. Sometimes the music is just too quirky and too cheesy, and it was like that several times throughout this movie.
Really?
Maybe I wouldn't. Like during his visit to the store, it's just a little. Like a lot of the songs were really good in it, and I really like the songs and some of the music, but there's just like those quirky bits that I just don't care for. But that's just me. So,
all right.
Anyhow, yeah, but so that would be my final jeer.
All right. Well. What was your tinsel top moment?
My tinsel topped moment would probably be the scene with Michael and Haley that you talked about, with where he compliments her and then he lets her know who else, like the famous people who have dyslexia, to know she's not alone, and it's her superpower. What about you?
That was mine too. As you could tell by my tearing up.
Yeah.
Getting silent there for about 5 seconds. I'm sorry.
Oh, there was one other, I'm just going to briefly mention, when Michael and Tina and Haley are having dinner at Michael's house and they're eating, and then they get into a discussion.
Right.
And then Haley says, I'm going to go get some more pasta. And she's clearly got a plate full of pasta. And she walks off into the kitchen, and Michael says something like, well, I looked like she had enough pasta on her plate. Or he kind of makes a comment. I wonder if that was a mistake. Like if the pasta wasn't supposed to be on her plate at that moment, like an editing thing. And he and Alex Santos kind of ad-libbed that.
Yeah.
I'd love to know that. But anywho, that's just an aside. All right. Is that a wrap?
Well, how many? We got to do the ornaments.
You're right.
So out of 5 ornaments, how many do you give this one?
I would give it a 4. Yeah. 4 ornaments for me. How about you?
That's what I was going to give it.
That's what you were going to give it to.
That's what I have written down for.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I
think it was a good start to the series. So.
Yeah, thought it was good.
All right. So is that a wrap?
That is a wrap.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. Be sure to follow the podcast wherever you listen so you don't miss one. Also, check us out on social media so you don't miss one. You can also send us an email to pourthewine. It's romcomtime@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. And that's about it. New episodes drop on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Until next time, fill up your glasses and push play. Thanks for listening. Cheers.